And we're live, and hello, and everybody. Welcome. How are you? Thanks for tuning in later than usual. For those of you that don't know, I have family FaceTime with my whole family on Thursdays. Always have. So, since the pandemic thing started. So, while I've been doing the stream, we always bump the Thursday show rather than try to re-coordinate my entire family. Because quite frankly, getting all of you guys to figure it out is way easier than getting my aunts and uncles to move an hour. Yeah, I appreciate your patience and welcome and how are you and what's going on, folks, and hello. And happy, what day is it? Thursday. That's right. It's Thursday and it will remain Thursday until it's Friday. And oh my gosh, you're not late. You're just on time. And over the, This weekend, Dee Snider was going to be with us, but he has to reschedule because they're actually recording vocals, so I think he should protect his voice. I agree with him about that. So he will be joining us in another week. But I'm working on another guest, which I think will be great. Fingers crossed it will work out. But welcome. I am indeed blessed. The idea that we can all get together and FaceTime in that regard is a beautiful thing. And both of my parents have officially gotten their first dose of the vaccine, and they're in different states, but of course, dementia as well. No, I kid. But they're in different states, and there's slightly different standards for where they're getting their stuff from. Because my dad technically got his in Ohio, and my mom in Kentucky. So fingers crossed. I've been, it's funny, but those of you that tuned in and saw my mom talk about it yesterday, she's feeling fine today. She had no symptoms. She didn't get any of the ick that goes with it at all. My dad's the same way. I guess I attribute it mostly to hard living, because I have to say there were reports early on that for some reason smokers weren't getting COVID lung like other people, and it was just basically because like COVID saw people's lung damage and went, I don't want to live here, I don't want to grow here, and I think my parents probably are in the same boat, over the course of their lives, with their consumption of the mildest and most available controlled substances, but certainly a history of it. So they and odd diets. So between those two things, I don't think COVID has a chance, frankly, in there. So. Anyways, why is I tried to turn the audio and affect it a little bit, so sorry if I was loud in the beginning. This should be a little better. I hope so. That's better, I think. Blues Livin' had a sore arm afterwards from the shot. The needles are fairly small, insofar as I know. There should be sound on. Yes, there's sound. I see sound going out. Is sound not going in? Is everybody in? Is everybody in? Now it's too low? Okay, good to know. Thank you. I'll turn it up a little bit. There we go. Hopefully I'm not jamming it. Volume. There you go. Is that better? I got very soft. I dialed it back because I'm peaking over here, and then I get louder when I get carried away, and then I'm, this is what you do without a crew. This is life without a crew. This is television on your own. This is effectively like the campfire TV, unlike or much like, I suppose, Ted Nugent's show, no camp and no fire, but basically starting it. So check. Here we go. There we go. We're back. We're good. Thank you for the cheer and the bits. And thank you guys for supporting us. And thank you for our new patrons. Thank you. We're at 661. The new goal is 1,000. Oh my God, if we got there. That would be crazy. We have now been able to add a person or two to our team halfway. Johnny Million now gets gas money for a show he no longer has to drive to, but that's helpful. And we've got production help with remote as it is. One day, perhaps, an in-house member, someone who could be present. I know it's a lot to ask, but we'll see. We've got way more work to do in that area. So if you can help us out and you want to help us out, patreon.com/HalSparks, or you can just, super chat and bits and stars and all the lovely things that you guys can do. And whatever help you can give is great. If you have no ability to help right now because you're staring down the barrel of a scary Next 6 months, completely understand, relax, enjoy. I will do for you what I have been doing for the last year, almost exactly. We're actually going to have like criminy. We're going to have a 1-year anniversary of the stream in a couple of months. How nuts is that? How long have we been in this stuff? Of me, streaming daily. It's kind of amazing. But over the course of, the last year, kids, we got through it. There's still challenges. We got a lot of problems out there. Nobody's pretending we don't. We've got a lot of work to do, especially now that, the Republican Party has devolved basically into, QAnon Central and basically the Alex Jones Party at this point. But considering, Kevin McCarthy's going down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss Trump's ass or say, please, please, please don't release the files that Putin got during the RNC hack, that, he still has to go to Florida to see this asshole, and none of us have to worry about it. I'm just saying. That's pretty great. Speaking of Patreon, ETA on blue patches, I have ordered more. They are coming. It's very late. I literally there's not a lot I can do about that part of it. That part's slightly out of my hands, but they will be there. If you don't get one in the mail or haven't, I will be glad to hand you one at a live show personally when I come to your town. And if that's not, if that's out of the question, we will eventually mail them to you. They will happen. But we ran. I didn't expect us to run out of them. So yeah. And by the way, those of you someone who's clamoring about Vanilla ISIS and hateful white men, just as a white guy who likes you, not all of us are like that. I'm just saying. I know at least 8 nice straight white guys. I'm just saying. And we're over 50. So, just hold out hope that some of us are salvageable, I guess. Is that the idea? All right. So today, there's a couple of things. You wonder how bad it gets on the friggin' right wing that, they went from having Trump on, calling into all these shows, I think you're doing a great job, all that stuff, to, we can get Rudy, to, crap, we're getting Mike Lindell. We're literally scrounging to get the My Pillow guy on their network. You know what I mean? You know how bad it is in right-wing media? Yeah, yes, we have a very salvageable president. It's true. Many of them single. A decent portion, actually, interestingly enough. Let me show you how bad it is over at Newsmax right now. I mean, it's always bad in its own way, but listen to this. Hold on.
Kind of seems like he's left our lives, okay? We used to hear from him every 5 minutes, but it's different.
They're getting desperate at Newsmax for like a tweet to just suckle on. It's like that old Eddie Murphy bit about, give a starving man a saltine. And he's like, this has got to be a Ritz. That's where they are with like, can he just please, there's just a press release, just something. Can he just a signal flare? Can he just say, can he have an airplane fly over Mar-a-Lago and skywrite Law and Order? Something, I don't know. Can he call Rosie O'Donnell fat and hang up? Can we please? Can he call into The View and try to, oh my God, they're freaking out. It's great.
Different. He's off of social media. We're not hearing from him. I'm wondering about him.
Are you? You're just all concerned. Poor Greg. What was that?
We thought we'd bring in the boss himself.
The boss himself. Who do they mean the boss? Is it Springsteen? Could it possibly be Donald Trump? Because they haven't heard from him. He's very excited. Oh, will it be Donald Trump? Oh my God, the boss himself. Who could they be talking about?
Newsmax CEO Chris Ruddy, who's known President Trump for many years.
They're interviewing their own CEO. They are seriously. Who do we have said I can't talk to him again? He N-bombed it last week and we had to cut the whole feed. He's the reason we have a 1-hour delay. Sit your ass down. Who do we got? CEO was here today. He was just checking receipts. Bring him in. Somebody, please.
Friends, and we'd like to know how he's doing and what's next. Chris Ruddy, first of all, I guess I can't welcome you to Newsmax. Newsmax is you, but it's great to see you tonight.
No, I can't even welcome you here because it's not like you have autonomy in your own show and are allowed to say whatever you want. He tells you what to say, or at least winds you up like a wind-up toy and knows what you're going to say, and that's the only way you stay on the air. But please, Chris Complexion, please go on about being ruddy. What?
Night.
Well, it's still a nice welcome, and it's great to be on with you, Greg.
It is. It's great. It's great. I should do it more often. I should make you have me on more often.
Chris, many thanks. So what is your sense? You're both down.
That's CEO Ruddy to you, or the master of the blaster, or just make smooching sounds. You don't call me Chris, okay?
There in Florida, he is not out there publicly.
He's golfing. He's golfing and complaining to the staff. Out there publicly. He could. He set up an office of the former president. He could be releasing press releases every single day. And they would come in the fax machines to the Washington Post, and someone there would chuckle out loud and go,
How is he doing? How is he holding up?
How is he? God, tell us, please. Chris Ruddy, you be our Trump whisperer. Please be my hands so I may touch him.
What's he going through right now?
Well, I haven't spoken to him recently. I'm letting.
Oh, great. Perfect guess. Thanks. Okay, that's a wrap, guys. No. It was going to be exciting. But then the owner of the company, who knew why he was coming on as a guest, what the heck? Guys, think about the arrangement of bringing on... I met the guy once. Seriously? I haven't talked to him in a while, so I don't know what's going on with him. Honestly, I just own Newsmax and have no idea. The head of Newsmax hasn't talked to Trump in weeks. Jesus Christ.
Letting him settle in down here.
Just let him settle in. I don't want to bother you while you got boxes everywhere and you're going to have to move because you're not allowed to live there.
Had an amazing time as president. I
like that. Show video of him leaving again. You're just breaking every Newsmax viewer's heart, except mine, of course.
One of the most monumental single-term presidents in history.
Yes. Absolutely. A monumental, like the giant pile of shit in Jurassic Park. That kind of a monument. Monumental. Biden just erased half of Trump's presidency with a stroke of a pen. He got no legislation passed. Like the tax cut is just regular Republican run-of-the-mill crap. None of it.
I think what's going to happen, and it's going to be very predictable.
Well, if it's very predictable, what the hell do I need you for? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, and you're only going to get it from here. It's exactly what you think is going to happen, and probably will.
About 6 months, there's going to be huge buyer's remorse by a lot of people that didn't vote.
That's what's going to happen. Yeah. What you're already printing the "Miss Me Yet" shirts, are you?
Vote for him, realizing that he was a good president, that he had done a lot of the great things for the economy. For COVID, I think people are realizing that the vaccine, the only reason we had the vaccine is he took the very dramatic steps of pumping billions and billions of dollars into the pharmaceutical companies to get.
Yeah, no president would ever, in the middle of a pandemic, offer billions of dollars to whoever comes up with the cure first. Who would have even thought of this? Honestly, no one else in the Trump White House, because he got rid of the pandemic response team. They would have, 6 months before he even gave a crap or knew what he was talking about, would have gone, you might want to get pharmaceutical companies working on stuff immediately, if you could, sir. What for? Isn't it just killing black people? Can't we just hold off for a little while?
Get a vaccine out there quickly. And we're going to see the result of that this summer. And then next year.
We're going to see the results of it next summer? You mean a year and a half from when we first found out about the disease, almost to the day when the experts were saying that's how long it will take to get a vaccine to enough people to hit herd immunity when he denied it and said, we're doing it much faster. We're basically going to have it. They held off until after the election just to screw me. We would have had it. We could have had it by Christmas. All that story. It's actually a year and a half. Is it? Is it summer? I see.
People are going to see how the economy teeters because Donald Trump understood what drives the U.S. economy, which is
debt. Apparently debt. Apparently that's what Donald Trump thinks runs the economy. Because all he did was beat up on the Fed to lower the interest rate, and so people could borrow more money. And all he did was go bankrupt his whole life and live off of other people's money. He's a debt vulture himself. He thinks America's a debt vulture. He doesn't understand the engine of actual growth and building things. He just thinks you just borrow money, which is why he had double the deficit Obama had.
Small business.
Yes, he does understand small business because the Trump organization is a small business masquerading as a big business.
Biden has promised, Greg, to raise corporate taxes from 21% to 28%.
Yeah, they came down from 35%. Everybody was saying the mitigatory drop would be 28. That would be manageable, good for the economy and not overreaching. It's not even that weird. He's not bringing it back up to where it was. That wasn't even part of it. Nobody's expecting him to.
It's going to be a 40% increase. He's going to also do away with a lot of
a 40% increase. I see.
Of these tax deductions small business has. That's coming. It's
going to be it's going to be an 8% increase in taxation. It's not 40% of the 21 that already exists.
Promised by the Democrats. Very dangerous times ahead.
Buyers.
Yeah, total
remorse. I think that resonates with a lot of folks.
Yeah, because that's what we do, right? We buy a president. I mean, that's what we were doing. Thanks. Hi.
Not that I bought Joe Biden. I did not vote for him. I think it's okay for me to say that. I do.
Is he staring at him like, you better not even joke about that? You better not.
You want to play this, Chris? One of the last things we heard from President Trump.
Yeah, will you put piano music under it, or just play some Lee Greenwood so we feel like he's right here in memoriam?
While he was still president, he made these comments just before he got on Air Force One.
We love you. We will be back in some form.
Either I will shapeshift into a burrito, or I will arrive. Next time you see me, I will be semi-nude in a picture that is leaked. We will be back once the weather's good to come and check on, how my hotel is doing before I sell it at a loss. Yeah, Don Jr.'s not clapping at that. That's weird.
So, have a good life.
I just love this. Like, have a good life. Have a good life. Really, dude? Hold on. Wait. I have to go back to here.
So, have a good life. We will see you soon.
Back in some form. It was an
Yes, I will shapeshift. I am a shapeshifter.
Interesting way to put it.
Yeah, it was a stupid way of putting it. He's like, you have to forgive the man. He has the best words, and it's hard to get them all out at once.
Obviously, he has not made up his mind about his political future.
I have. Ask me.
What's your sense?
He doesn't have one.
What does he want to do? Is he?
Well, I haven't talked to him at all, and I don't know.
And is he thinking about 2022 and 2024?
What's he thinking about since you haven't talked to him? This is so stupid. You're just going to keep beating this dead horse.
Hey, I think you're going to have to ask him. I certainly think he'll be asking a lot.
This is an excellent interview. This is amazing. Now I know why he's the boss of the network. This is incredible. You're going to have to ask him. It's your job. Don't ask me questions. I'm just on here to remind people I own the joint.
A lot of people That's how he ran for president the first time. He would ask everyone, should I run? And everybody said overwhelmingly yes.
No, they didn't. I mean, there is no version of the universe where people said overwhelmingly yes. Yeah.
I certainly would support him running again in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure he's going to be quick to pull the switch on that.
Yeah, he's going to wait until the very last second, just decide he's going to run and ask somebody else for money to pay for it, refuse to put his own money in again, all that kind of stuff. You mean he's really going to, a plan, like an adult who's going to run for office.
One of the things I think he's going to realize is when you're post-president, you've got a lot of the perks of being president. You have the access.
Not for long.
To the media stage, not only in the U.S., but around the whole world.
Yeah, go take care of that. Take advantage of that media stage. That's what he should do. He's got access to the worldwide media stage, meaning Chris Ruddy is begging Trump to come on Newsmax live. That's what this is. This is an audience of one. He's getting mailed this clip.
And he's going to have no restrictions.
None whatsoever. He can just swear and just incite violence. He can walk around in a robe with it open in the front.
And every time he said boo, someone in Congress was opening an investigation against this guy.
I don't know, how often does he say boo? I mean, does he call you boo? Is that what? Hey boo. Thanks for Newsmax. Listen.
And I think
every time I call you, they open an investigation against me. I don't know what's happening. See you later, boo. Damn it.
He's going to like the fact that he can go around the world and certainly do business in the United States. He loves business, but he also loves the country.
He loves business. Totally loves business. He's a business guy. You know what I mean? Now he can go all over the world doing business.
So I see him staying very active politically, being a great political and media force.
Yeah,
my view on Donald Trump is he was president of the United States. Now he can be president of the world. He can.
Yeah, you heard that right.
Trump is he was president of the United States. Now he can be president of the world. He can really.
What kind of insane douchebaggery is happening at Newsmax? You bring on the boss of the network to interview him about talking to Trump when he hasn't, and this is the little nugget that he leaves for everybody. I knew this was coming. I didn't know where in the video because I don't pre-watch this crap. But this was the title. Newsmax put this out. Newsmax CEO, now Trump can be president of the world. No, he can't. I'm just saying, first of all, he doesn't even like countries that have democracies, including ours. The only countries he can't wait to get to have either princes in charge or kleptocrats. Good God. What? No, we haven't gotten to Gaetz.
Really go all over the world. And he had tremendous success, Greg, with these peace agreements.
No, he didn't. He sold $15 billion worth of arms to countries that previously didn't really give a crap about Israel, but now if they wanted to, could blow it out of existence. But yeah, please continue. The Abraham Accords.
Never got the credit he deserved. Brought peace with the Israelis. North Korea stopped their military.
Oh, he brought peace with the Israelis? Sorry, were we at war with Israel?
He could be a valuable
Hello,
resource
Ireland.
To the United States as a peace.
Yeah, totally great. You know what would be really great for the peace movement in America is if Donald Trump continued to out spies all over the world, both ours and the Israelis, so that they can be murdered. Maybe he can do that.
Maker around the world.
No, he has so much to be proud of. Here's a concern, though.
His makeup line was sharp. His neck gina was just, it was like neckagami. He had, the amazing thing that he was the only president in history that could be an inch shorter than he is tall and an inch taller than he is short at any given moment. That's incredible. I mean, that's a lot to be proud of.
Well, let's face it, the mainstream media and a good chunk of society are
Yeah, you mean the majority of people in the United States?
trying to cancel him.
Cancel him? Oh, I'm sorry. He's being canceled, is he? Yeah, that always bugged us about the Klan, is that they were canceled from towns.
Prevent any kind of comeback, prevent any kind of role for him post.
Oh, for the record, Greg, that is your name, right? Is it Greg Kelly? Yeah. Greg, I'm not trying to prevent his comeback. I'm just here to tell you there won't be one. And it will have next to nothing to do with me or the media or you or the dude your boss here who thinks it's a great idea to book himself as a guest on your show to talk about what Trump's thinking when he hasn't spoken to him as the guest who knows what Trump is thinking. I mean, it's just Newsmax in a nutshell. None of that is what's going to stop Trump from having a future in politics or being a voice for conservatism or anything. The only thing that's going to stop Donald Trump from doing that is Donald Trump's complete idiocy, his own moral and physical and weakness, and his lack of an attention span of anything higher than a 9-year-old. That there is nothing that Trump is going to do that anybody else can do to Trump that will equal what Trump will continue to do to his own legacy. No matter what happens, if they let him back on Twitter, if they let him back on Facebook, if there's a brand new social network that launches in the next 5 years, which is, absolutely a possibility, he'll jump on there and start making a bunch of noise and do to himself what we could only dream of doing.
Presidency in an effort, I think, to keep him out of the presidency down the road. How much of a handicap is that, and how can he?
Golf terms. We're using golf terms because the president might be watching this clip. His friends said they would send it to him.
Get around it. I know that's a lot to put at you, but I'm just.
Yeah, since you already haven't talked to him and don't know, and you're obviously sitting in the executive suite of a hotel or your house where you're not allowed to sit on your own. Are you sitting on an ottoman in your own house? Where are you doing this?
I'm stumped myself because I want to hear more from him than we are.
Yeah, well, that's because it's 80% of your programming.
Well, I'm going to challenge you on one thing. Mainstream media is not mainstream. They're pretty far left these days.
Yeah, that's why, they have the biggest audiences. They're pretty far left. And by far left, I mean, of course, Fox and Friends, Geraldo. I mean, get out of here.
And then the president's done a pretty good job communicating. The Rasmussen poll, most accurate poll of the 16 of the 20 election and the 16 election.
Well, no, it was not by any means. Oh, he's in his front room. He's got an American flag. All right, Mike Lindell, the gauntlet has been dropped by Crisp Rudderless. What's his name? Chris Rude Boy. Rude Boy. Hear me now. Look at that. This dude farts on the flag regularly. I think it's wrong.
Shows that Donald Trump left office or has an approval rating of about 51%, was one of the most recent numbers, higher than before he had the election. So, I mean, I think he's still very popular.
Yeah, you do? Well, keep mining that. Please keep digging for gold in that hole. Please climb down that. Chris Rude Boy, come on now. Hear me now. Climb down that hole and keep mining for gold. I want to see what kind of nuggets you're bringing back up.
And I think that, this is a good stead for him. And I think the media are being canceled by a lot of people. The media is so far left. They want to, some of them, people are at CNN, as you know, have advocated closing Newsmax TV down.
Have they now? Have they advocated for closing Newsmax TV down? Why would they do such a thing?
Because we voiced concerns about the election. And we said that.
No, you didn't have concerns about the election. Chris, Greg, both of you. I appreciate you have the same tailor. I appreciate that. It's nice of you to put on different ties so we don't look like an after and before picture. But concerns about the election was not an issue for anyone. Oh my God, they're concerned about the election. If you were concerned about the election, you would have been against DeJoy slowing down the mail service so that more people who voted by mail could get there. If you were concerned about the election, you would want to make sure that there were enough voting machines functioning in all districts so every American would have access to functioning voting machines, and not that the broken ones be sent to the black areas and the rich white areas would get 12 for every person. You don't have concerns about the goddamn election. You are alleging falsehoods about a company that helped run the election and people involved in it that have gotten them death threats. It's not concern, dickhead.
That there might have been voter fraud, and we gave a platform to people like Rudy Giuliani that were making...
No, you didn't give him a platform because there might have been fraud. You allowed him to defame and defraud the American electorate without any check because you had your thumb on the scale for Trump.
Making allegations. They believe that Newsmax should not have the right to exist. I mean...
No, you can exist, but if you're going to just foment violence and get people killed, then you better check yourself.
I think it's pretty shocking, and even liberals like Alan Dershowitz think it's pretty shocking.
Alan Dershowitz is not a liberal, you jackass. Alan Dershowitz is Trump's lawyer and a pedophile. A liberal.
We just had Senator Rand Paul on, and he is shouting.
Thank God. I assure you that I'm from Kentucky. I'm a true Kentuckian.
He was challenged over...
You can tell I'm from Kentucky. I've got a natural gray squirrel on top of my head, only found in the Tennessee-Kentucky Valley.
The weekend by George Stephanopoulos. These are valid questions, and they should be raised, and they're trying to make it illegal to raise those questions, essentially.
No, they're not. It's not illegal. But if you want to have standing as a news organization and you're not pushing back on false claims, and those false claims are making people charge the Capitol and beat a cop to death, you loser. People might be going, I don't know if they should be at least called Newsmax.
Well, I'm so glad we exist, and we're gonna remain in this game, Chris. I know we're...
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks for pouring money into this thing. It basically has basically off-the-rack, form-your-own news channel plugins that gives you basically the same image quality and content quality as some rando long hair in his office streaming live for free. But please keep pouring billions into our, millions. Tens of thousands of dollars into our organization here so we can all have fresh ties.
Counting on you, and you're counting on us, and we're going to do this. Chris Ruddy, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for Newsmax, and thanks for being with us.
And your popularity, Greg, on ratings, which is through the charts, breaking all records, I think it's...
Through the charts. This is a man who knows media. Through the charts. Next up, Greg Kelly with Lies Don't Lie Like I Lie. Lie with me. It's through the charts. We'll be back.
It's a sign that the American public is turning off the old media.
That's a total sign that Fox's audience is full of psychopaths, and they have to have somewhere to turn.
Thank you very much, Chris, and appreciate it so much. We are very excited.
Did he just brush off his shoulder?
Thank you very much, Chris.
I had no idea he was that cool. Man, oh shit. Thank you, David, for the you got a 10-week streak on the stars. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Nice.
Chris, and appreciate it so much. We are very excited, and we're very, very grateful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you for funding my BS. Yeah. So that's it.
Whew. All right, how did I do? I think that went pretty well. That's my boss. All right, and happens to be a great boss. Not just saying that. Be right back.
I totally believe you. You know what I mean? Like, guys, I honestly, can you imagine? Oh, God. Can you imagine, like, Rachel Maddow having the head of Comcast on going, what do you think Biden's, what's Biden thinking right now? You talk to him every day. Like, no, I don't. Well, yeah, but what's he going to do over the next few months? I don't know. I mean, I can tell you what he should do. I like the guy, but, you know, I'm not really that political in it terms. You know, my days really spent with a series of issues dealing with, you know, expanding cable access and internet access, because that's really our bread and butter, and you're just part of our repertoire. I don't even know why I'm here. Well, thanks very much for coming in. Through the roof. So, right on the other side of the joyous, wondrous world that is right-wing media is Right Side Broadcasting. Now, Right Side is the Jesus-ier of the two between them and Newsmax. That's where they're staking their, you know, they're putting their flag in the ground, where they're like, this is our territory. We're gonna have more Jesus-y shows. Even though Newsmax, I think, has literally like shows where they're like opening with a prayer and the like, which is of course a mockery of God and religion in all its forms, and is a completely like blasphemous thing to do, because they're liars and grifters and using the illusion of Christianity or Judeo-Christian values as, you know, a cover for their acts of violence, you know, that kind of thing. But Right Side just all in, and they're in Cheyenne, Wyoming, because Matt Gaetz has decided to go down there and take on Liz Cheney. Now, for the record, credit where credit is due, where Liz Cheney has had
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need.
No, you don't. You go away. That's what you do. Sorry, if I tap my earpiece, it starts the thing playing because it thinks it's a whatever. Anyway, never mind. So these guys, so Matt Gaetz is going down there to attack Liz Cheney. For the record, this is like watching an anaconda fight an alligator, knowing that either one of them, when they're done with that one, will come after you next. So I'm not rooting for anyone in this. As much as Liz Cheney has the illusion of being sensible right now, as she tries to, basically, she's trying to salvage not the worth or the ideas of the Republican Party, but the mask that it wore. Her father is Dick Cheney. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah.
We know that we'll stand for the people and stand for the values that President Trump has laid forward. And of course, that's something.
Yeah, those values that he's laid forward, like grabbing women by the pussy and dropping 8,000 kids in the middle of a cartel town with no supervision because you just dumped them without rehooking them up with their parents, and just minor children dumped in a cartel town. Family values.
And that we all want. So we'll see what happens over the next 8 to 10 months. And of course, we go in.
Yeah, and then what? Notice how they all have a shelf life. Like in the next 6 months, in the next 8 to 10 months, then what? If he doesn't stage a comeback and show, rise up and claim the throne and declare himself God on, inside the temple on the mount, then I don't know. What's Jim Jordan doing these days?
Into the primaries, 2022, a lot of states will flip, hopefully, and will change. A lot of House, we can probably get more seats there, and we'll see.
Yeah, totally going to get more people in the House. Yeah, count on it.
What happens? I mean, the political landscape right now is
yes, Lord. Ask not.
Something that we've never seen before, and it's very volatile, and I think that you're going to see some change in Washington. You're going to see change in about every state. We've seen even polling data in certain you would think, very liberal states like Washington State and California, there is some evidence that they are very close to becoming a Republican state, and we can all hope.
No. If you poll the white supremacist camps in eastern Washington, you're not going to get a real picture of the whole state as far as population and who actually votes. I'm just saying for the record. And no, California is not going red.
That we clean up the election integrity in some of those states, and we can make sure.
Do it. Yeah. Clean it up. Clean up the electorate. Go ahead. Make sure that everyone has a paper trail and access to a voting machine. Then we'll talk.
That perhaps is possible. So we're glad you're joining us right now. We are live.
Hey, we're glad to be here.
Of the Capitol
Cheyenne,
Wyoming.
Wyoming,
awaiting
where at any moment John F. Kennedy Jr. is going to land in a Piper Cub out of the mouth of George Washington.
Gaetz to take the podium and talk about the movement to basically make America first again. And of course,
Maffa. This Maffa going to come down here and say that we're going to go to Maffa. That's the new hat. Jesus.
Speak out against Liz Cheney and some of her basically not standing behind the president during this whole process. So we'll continue.
Well, and in her defense, Liz Cheney has a lot of reasons not to stand behind Trump. One, largely that he farts in public, and the fecal-oral spread is well documented of COVID. So.
Continue to bring all this very...
Yeah, the woman in the background like, I'm getting all this.
Volatile situation here. I'm going to keep up some notes. Also, I'm going to go over some platforms that you can...
Yeah, just keep chatting or whatever. Can we just jump ahead till... Oh, my God, he put his glasses on. So he can read
Android TV, Xbox One...
Oh, my God. All the places you can get right side. Christ almighty. Oh, wait. Was that a guest? Hold on.
Network.com, RSB Network. Thank you very much. .com. Hey, free hugs today, right? You're great. Go
to
our website and donate what you can, as we are 100% viewer supported. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm 100% viewer supported as well.
For that, that was probably the best hug I've had all day. I like that. Best hug I've had all day. I mean, you had millions of people watching you.
I'm a supporter.
There you go. Why are you here?
Why not? Liz Cheney.
Yeah, why not?
Are you kidding me? She is a big traitor.
Oh my God, Liz Cheney is a big traitor. And the look on his face right now. This is welcome to 2021, Republicans. I'm just going to use the sad trombone for all of them, at least once.
Absolutely. The worst traitor for Wyoming has ever seen.
The worst traitor for Wyoming has ever seen. I love that she, used the old English of the plains. You know what I mean? Like, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain for...
75% of us voted for Trump. She axed him the first chance she got.
She axed him? You mean shivved him? You mean... All right.
It is horrible.
Grace...
She's still talking to you, dude. Don't turn away.
Real quickly, greatest accomplishment from Donald Trump was what?
Pardon?
Greatest accomplishment by our president, Donald Trump, was what? What was your favorite thing that he did in office?
Oh, my gosh. The list is long. Right to life. I love President Trump. He is an absolute man.
Right to life. I think she's converging pro-life and right to try. But adorable.
He'll be back.
All right, I want to give you another...
He'll totally be back. And now, a moment where the right side host molests an old woman.
Thank you so much. Well, God bless you for coming over here. And that's just...
Me too.
Some of the feeling here at the Capitol. People love this president. They love what he stood for. They love what he's doing. And it looks like we're just moments away from...
Yeah, we're gonna play a song about Mary Gaetz a doody boo-doo, howdy doong doo-goo. Like, we got country stuff coming out of our ass. Oh, yeah. I can't play the song because I'll get a copyright strike, but there's a bunch of people gonna die at the stupid gathering of COVID super spreaders. Oh, yeah. This is a great shot, though. I'm glad you guys are getting this shot.
I'm going to turn it over to the speaker.
Wait,
Ocean Andrew. I'm going to turn it over to the.
I don't know what he said. It sounded like he said, let's give a big hand to Low Shithead Rule. But I don't know who that might be the name, I think. Yeah.
Speaker.
Demon red, white, and blue, like my suit and my sticker thing, and I've got a name tag. Playing the song on my phone, so I gotta wait till it's done, cause I don't wanna do.
Everyone. The music.
He faded his own song and intro. That's adorable.
Great deal to me to see so many of you took the time to be here today. My name is Ocean Andrew from House District 46.
Ocean Andrews.
And I want to thank Congressman Gates for coming up from the great state of Florida.
Dude, Ocean, you stop reading off your phone and just make the statement.
All right. My name is Ocean Andrew.
Now we're talking.
From House District 46. And I want to thank Congressman Gates for coming up from the great state of Florida.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a lot. I'm turning this down a little. There you go.
All right.
Want to thank Matt Gaetz, who has nothing better to do and couldn't possibly help the people of Florida at all, for being up here in Wyoming, a state that's nearly the farthest that he could possibly go before entering Canada, which of course we know gives him a mild rash.
My name is Ocean Andrew from House District 46, and I want to thank
He needed to read that off his phone, by the way.
Congressman Gates for coming up from the great state of Florida
and adopting me.
Be here in the great state of Wyoming today. Not everyone in Washington represents their state as well as Matt Gaetz does.
Well, it's kind of a weird standard.
Unfortunately, our own representative would rather send our taxpayer money to the Middle East instead of keeping it here at home. Wyoming believes in America first, in ending foreign wars, and keeping the government out of our lives. Simply put, come next.
Simply put, I bought this novelty suit on Amazon, and damn it, I'm going to use it.
Election, Wyoming deserves better.
Yes, then the Cheneys. Please eat each other.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you Congressman Gates.
My future foster father, even though I still have parents and they live nearby. I'm just going to move in with him, and he's going to call me son, which is, he's been doing it the whole time. I feel like playing Tom Petty's Won't Back Down, because we are to believe that, and I won't, big boy.
I love Wyoming.
I'm going to hit him with the big I love Wyoming right out of the gate. They're going to think it's sweet. I'm just going to score some points right off the bat. I think that's a good idea, son, because I got to be honest. You got a cowboy in a scarf and a purple shirt giving you the sweet eye, and you're wearing that sweater vest thing underneath your suit because it's chill. I'm just saying, son, an overcoat's a little more presidential. You look like you got dropped off at a bus stop thinking you were going to a private school, and your parents just abandoned you.
I think if Liz Cheney had a rally with all of her supporters, they could likely meet inside one of the elevators in the Capitol and still have plenty of room for social distancing.
That's a Joe Biden joke that he uses, repurposed for Liz Cheney on the premise that she is unpopular, which is why I guess local Wyoming people had to call Matt Gaetz from Florida, not a neighboring state that actually has anything in common with their state, to come up here and make a bunch of noise on the steps because if a local politician who understood the issues that are happening in Wyoming, like Montana or Idaho or any of these states came out, they just go, oh yeah, he's like, oh, okay, politics.
I want to thank Representative Ocean Andrew. His first day as a state representative was yesterday,
and he's doing a great job. He's already doing better than me. And by the way, did you ski there or were you wearing a bike helmet? What happened to your hair? Literally, this situation has got to be remedied.
He invited me to be
seriously. He looks like he arrived on a snow sled.
Here with all of you today. I'd say that's a pretty good start for the young man. I'll confess to you, this is my first time in Wyoming.
Okay, there you go. That settles it. There you go. We brought somebody who really cares about Wyoming. Someone who's never been here before.
Been here for about an hour, and
and what?
I feel like I already know the place a lot better
than Dick Cheney or Liz.
Than your misguided representative, Liz Cheney.
This is, by the way, a Republican attacking another Republican. Please enjoy.
My grandfather.
What? Wait, hold on. Cut. Wait a second. Did you see? Look at this. Look what happened in the chat right here. What is this? What's happening in the RSBN chat? What? Why is there a dude where's my car in all caps with a Trump face from this dude in the... That literally just went by. I just noticed that out of the corner of my eye. Excuse me. No. You don't... Yeah, no. You keep my movie's name out of your chat, you creeps.
Father was a small town mayor in not too distant North Dakota. He passed before his time, but not before passing into legend. And he passed along a little wisdom.
So this guy's passed a lot. He passed a gallstone, a kidney stone. He passed on dessert very often. And he passed into the past.
To my dad. My old man calls it Prairie populism. Do right by your people. Never sell out. Fight their dislikes. And never...
Did you guys... What? Hold on. What does Prairie populism involve? Was it created during the time of Instagram?
Never sell out.
Right, never sell out. And then what?
Fight their dislike. Do right by your people.
Listen to this.
Never sell out. Fight their dislikes.
Fight their dislikes. You remember the old Prairie days of Twitter, boy? When I was growing up, we used to be on Twitter all the time. When I first joined Twitter, there were just trees as far as the eye could see. None of this was here. And then the hearts arrived. And then you had to like something. And then the thumbs down showed up on Instagram. And we said, what is this neighborhood coming to? This is a terrible situation we find ourselves in. Fight their dislikes.
And never let the powerful run over the weak.
Never let the powerful run over the weak. So you would basically say that, you know, someone like Donald Trump, who's a debt vulture, but on paper is at least a millionaire, would count as somebody who's powerful, and so him not renting to black people, let's say, with his dad in the 70s, that would be against Prairie populism in the old prairies of Brooklyn.
Inspire people through courage and tell the truth.
When is that going to start? Go ahead. Let me see some.
The truth is that the establishment is...
Oh, I love it. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, you guys don't know how beautiful it is. I have had to deal with the hyper left progressives using the word establishment as if establishing something like, I don't know, these truths to be self-evident is in and of itself a terrible thing. Establishing something. Like they have moved. You have to understand the language leap that's happened here. It used to be about the swamp. Now, because they're turning on their own, they can't call it the swamp because they're in it. So they have to call it the establishment to give themselves the illusions of being outsiders. And why is Matt Gaetz an outsider? Because he's never been to Wyoming before.
In both political parties have teamed up to screw our fellow Americans for generations.
Oh yeah? Have they now, Matt? Jesus, he's just staring right at us. It's kind of like when a squirrel gets in the house, you know? Or a rat, more likely. Like he looks like that look you get from a rat on a bookshelf. You know what I mean? Where you're walking, you're like, oh, hey, there's a rat in here. All right.
Now in Washington, D.C., the private insider club of Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, the private insider club of Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell. Yeah.
Mitt Romney, Nancy Pelosi, and Liz Cheney.
The quote-unquote the poll guy, the guy who looks like he's giving a urinalysis right now, he's got a boom mic for whoever's doing a documentary on Matt Gaetz that he's going to use. So Matt Gaetz is using this to, as like footage for... Matt Gaetz has been fighting for America as a congressman in Florida. He reached out and he fought the establishment within his own party. And now Matt Gaetz is senator for thing. And this is played for by Matt Gaetz. I'm Matt Gaetz and I approve this message. That kind of thing. So they're filming that. This guy is there for audio for that. Even though it's mic'd, that guy wants crowd noise.
They want to return our government to its default setting.
You mean liberty and justice for all? You mean that the default setting would arguably be the Constitution, I would think.
Enriching them, making them more powerful at our expense. But we can stop them, and it starts.
That's right. First thing we're going to do, no ex-presidents living in our states. And
it's right here in Wyoming.
Why? Why does it start right here in Wyoming?
After all, Prairie populism is a lot more effective when we join together.
That's right. You can't just be out in the middle of a prairie buck naked fighting for yourself. You're just waiting. We're just waiting for an ambush. Can they what? Can these people sue Joe Biden? Can we the people for what? You can actually, if you want to try, you can actually sue yourself for being a loser. I mean, I'm sure some court would hear it.
Cross party lines, getting rid of those old dogmas.
Yeah, get rid of the old people in the party. Let Matt Gaetz run it, please. Please let Matt Gaetz coordinate the RNC. Please, God, let him take over. Let me see the Matt Gaetz get out the vote campaign. Oh my God, please.
Battle is no longer just Republican versus Democrat.
Nope, it's Republican versus Republican, and while the Democrats actually run the government.
It's not just red team versus blue team.
It's red team beating up red team and blue team going, is the game still on? Or should we just run into the end zone? Or, Jesus, at this point, hi. Well, thank you. Someone brought me food from a vegan taco place.
So good.
Is it? What'd you get me? What is this?
Well, I got burritos. I got a Beyond Beef one, and then I got a chicken one, and so I split them so we each have half.
Oh, well, lovely.
And then they have a ton of little street taco.
Sure.
So I ate that already.
You ate that already?
Well, I ate mine.
But you gave me one, though.
Yeah. So
okay.
That's the only thing. I haven't eaten the burrito yet.
Look at this business. Look at that. It's so fresh and green, you can see through it because of the green screen. That's how you know it's good. Well, huh? Tacotarian is the name of it. It's a vegan Mexican place here in Las Vegas.
One downtown, there's one on the west side, and they're getting ready to open on the east side too.
Well, we're doing ads now. There's one downtown and one on the west side, and they're about to open one on the east side. So fantastic. Come on down to Tacotarian. No relation to Danny Terrio. All right. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. Could I have some water? Since I'm going to be eating. Okay. I mean, folks. Crunchy tacos. We fell down during the dark years of the Trump administration. You know, when the fear was put into everyone that there would be taco trucks on every corner. Only thing all throughout the land, all you could find were soft tacos everywhere. Oh yes, soft tacos. And I'm not against them, but that's all you could find. Crispy tacos were nowhere to be found. But a crunchy taco was difficult. And then now there are good things happening in the world again as we Taco-teria. That is lovely. I'm just saying. I do have a great girlfriend. She's spectacular. The amazing thing is, and I hope you're all impressed, that not only am I eating a hard taco without much breakage, but if you'll see, I'm using my secondary fingers to grip the paper underneath it to keep a kind of plateau going for the, oh, thank you, my love. So that the taco doesn't end up largely on the floor and my office doesn't smell like taco for the next week and a half. But also that I'm able to, with Matt Gaetz in clear view, eat. I have an iron constitution. This is almost, somebody called the Guinness Book of World Records. Nobody's perfect. Oh, we'll get there. Parts are coming. Right. I feel so lucky to be able to eat Mexican food with you guys and share as we all enjoy. I'm going to sneak one of those in midway through the show. I'm just going to finish this and then I'll go. I've got a Beyond Meat beef burrito and half a chicken burrito that's waiting for me, also with beans and rice. I'll save that for after the show, but it will be tormenting me. I hope you appreciate that fact. That is what's up. He rode a blazing saddle. Agua fria. Oh, thank you. Napkins. Good idea. That's a great idea. Thank you.
I also have cauliflower ceviche upstairs.
Cauliflower ceviche.
Upstairs.
All right. Well, I will save that for after, because this will be too much to deal with on so many fronts. All right. Now she's trying to coax me away from my own show. Babe, if I don't stream, no tacos. I'm just saying. This is how we're paying for tacos right now. Please super chat so that this isn't my last taco. In the arms of an angel. Weepy eyes, shivering. All right. If AOC is live on Twitch, I'll toss over to her when we're done. Okay, here we go.
Absolutely not. We got to put America first. Those are the battles. Those are the old battles of yesteryear. But
yeah, the battles of yesteryear where we fought the Nazi Party in the United States using the term America first as cover for the fact that they were, all right.
People have always come to the great frontiers of Wyoming to
and I'm just coming now.
Win the future. That's why I'm here. We're going to...
What? They've always come to Wyoming to win the future? What? Wait a second.
Frontiers of yesteryear. But people have always come to the great frontiers of Wyoming to win the future.
Yeah, because that's why Tesla set up their headquarters in Wyoming. That's where, thank God for Wyoming, or we wouldn't have thorium reactors right now. If only the future of robotics is Wyoming. I mean, where would NASA be today? Yes?
Ethan just texted me that Dogecoin is at 4 cents.
Whoa. Crazy pants. I'm never going to finish the show. She's just going to keep bopping in. You're just going to keep... You might as well pull up a chair at this point.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here, because they flew me up here for free, which is a contribution in kind to my campaign since I'm filming this for my own use later. So if I use this footage and they paid for me to be there, yeah, that's, technically criminal. So that's fun.
To see a better future for our people. We're going to draw it closer.
And by our, I mean Florida.
To us, and we are going to ensure that we get better representation all over this great country to fight for the men and women who have made America great.
Oh, it's already done. Good, cool. So we don't need Trump to come back because America was already great? Cool. All right, well, as long as we, that's solid. Somebody just yelled, freedom! It's kind of like it's like a Braveheart starring a church mouse.
We deserve American greatness, not managed decline. And in that...
Not managed decline. But enough about Trump's retirement program.
Battle, it's the...
Oh, Chicago pizza's lovely, Patty. I'll get them. We got to do that here. I have to find a place. Oh, my God.
Establishment against the rest of us. And sure, they control big media, big corporations.
Big successful companies. Sure, they control all the trusted news outlets. Sure, the Democrats all control all the science and all, things that actually function and work. And, sure, they've got control. But what have we got? The aqueduct. Shut up.
Big tech, big defense contractors.
Yeah, big defense contractors. Hey, tap your brakes, buddy. Do you know what's in Wyoming?
And they walk around Washington, D.C. with big checkbooks and even bigger egos.
Well, I mean, you don't have big companies unless you got a big checkbook and a big ego. Ask that guy's big mustache. Ask Big Mustache if he feels like, I'm tired of... Matt Gaetz, little lips, is tired of being held down by Big Mustache.
But we have something that is far...
I like your style, Matt. I'm thinking about adopting you.
Far more precious and far more powerful.
Far more precious, and precious, adorable is the word I would use.
Control the true spirit and identity of America.
Well, the true spirit and identity. The identity. That's an interesting choice of words. Do you have ID right now? Is there a membership card? Or is it you just have to have a ruddy complexion and big boy hair? He's making the cowboy cry right now. It's so beautiful. USA, USA, USA. Identifying ourselves. I identify. Say no to Creepy Joe. You're too late. He won. Impeach Liz Cheney. Hold that sign a little higher. They've got a bunch of them. They passed them all out. Little flags. They got the little China-made flags. That's sweet. Wave your little flag, especially the one that's rolled up. See that guy right over there by the camera holding his flag? See how it's all rolled up? That means he was just somebody handed him that one out of a pack of 12.
If you want to prove that you have the power to...
I got the power!
Defeat Liz Cheney in this upcoming election!
Defeat Liz Cheney!
And Wyoming will bring
I got the power!
Washington to its knees!
Well, kinky. We will bring Washington to its knees. Dude, straight up, you sound like Khrushchev. I mean, we've talked about this a bunch, about the whole, we need a government so small that Putin can drown it in a bathtub. And that's been the Republican way for a very long time. But bringing Washington to its knees sounds like something that the North Koreans, the Iranians, or the 9/11 bombers would say.
You see, Washington, D.C. mythologizes the establishment power brokers like Liz Cheney for climbing in a deeply corrupt game.
Mythologizes Liz Cheney for climbing in a deeply corrupt game. Is it a game of climbing? Is it a climbing game? I know all there is to know about the climbing game.
But there are more of us than there are of them.
No, they're not. Wyoming's a tiny state. Seriously.
And we see the fakes and the phonies more clearly than ever before.
Well, yeah, because they're on your side, so they sit right next to you. You own a mirror, I presume. Yeah. Okay, where was I? Fakes and phonies more than ever.
They've suppressed American wages by allowing unchecked illegal immigration.
Oh, did they? Did they? What was the rate of people being deported under the Obama administration during the 8 years? Was that one of the big things? Like, was there a big rallying under Obama that, thank God, we've just got a flood of immigrants coming in from anywhere? By the way, do Russian anchor babies in Trump Tower, Miami next.
They've hollowed out the towns and villages in our country with...
The towns and villages. Really? How are the hobbits doing? The towns and villages? Villages. This asshole has seriously never been to Wyoming before. This looks like one of those places that has villages. Look at all the trees. Is this where the elves make the cookies? Is Jeff Sessions here?
Trade deals that...
Villages. God.
Enrich China at the expense of our people.
Oh, you mean like Trump, that's why he got $17 million put in that account he barely ever uses when he stopped TPP? What would TPP have done, Matt? What was it for?
We were told by Liz Cheney and all of the globalists that if we...
Jews. Right.
Accepted globalism, we would export America's best crops, best products, best services. Instead, all too often, we are exporting America's bravest patriots to die in foreign distant lands.
I'm sorry, how did like trade deficits result? I mean, that was over oil. But again, please go after Liz Cheney and her dad and Bush for, wars over oil. Please start doing that and then go back to your caucus. Oh, Lord, that's going to be beautiful.
A nation that sends its best to go fight in the worst places in the world?
Well, why would you send them to fight in the best places? The best places don't require fighting. What are you talking about? Of course you send your best to the worst situations. A nation who sends its great plumbers to the places with the leakiest pipes. What is this coming to? What?
Should not send its worst to be representatives in the United States Congress.
And therefore, I announce my immediate resignation from the House of Representatives. I, Matt Gaetz, and along with my 3 adopted sons, are going to move into the basement of Mar-a-Lago and take up our dream career of ball cradling.
But we are here in happy spirit and joy.
Yes, yeah, that's what you do when you're feeling joy. You yell and you call people un-American.
Because we do not have to accept failure or losing. We do not have to be condemned to some grim fate.
No, we don't have to do that. Well, yeah, you do.
Americans. And
and we're 4-1.
A fight for the soul of this country, we intend to win it.
Fight for the soul of this America, like restore the soul of America was what Biden was running on. I guess so. Since America's already great, I'm having a hard time keeping track.
Americans aren't going to be living like the folks in the Portland, Oregon Autonomous Zone or the Chaz.
No, we're not.
Our fellow Americans aren't going to accept New York's silly lockdowns that constrain freedom.
You're in Wyoming. People can socially distance just by walking from their car to the house.
Our fellow Americans aren't going to live on the feces-stained sidewalks of San Francisco.
Well, I don't think they're stained. I think they power wash them fairly regularly. But there's turds there. That's the tenderloin. That's the drug problem that they have. That's the problem when you have a temperate climate.
No, President Donald J. Trump showed us that with strong borders, we can stop the Canadians from coming into Wyoming. Oh, wait. With a focused foreign policy.
A focused foreign policy, focused largely on enriching the Saudis, giving the UAE and Bahrain the F-35, that kind of focus. The focus on kissing Kim Jong-un's ass and never questioning Vladimir Putin. It's a focused kind of foreign policy.
With less regulation, with less involvement from Washington, and with lower taxes.
Check this out. This lady hold on. While this is talking, this woman just gave $100. Thanks for all you do. Trump will be back. Hashtag Heather Jones did this. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb. No pressure, super chatters. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is not a real person. And what we are witnessing right here is a mild form of constant, everyday money laundering. Just for the record. I don't have direct proof of that. We'll seek it out over time. I'm going to predict that at some point, somebody's going to look at the books at Rightwing Media and Newsmax, and that's what they're going to find out, that all this stuff is, my name is Heather Jones. I live in Sayersville, Ohio. I've been an American since I was born. That kind of thing.
America's best days are still yet to come.
We know. That's why we voted for Joe Biden.
Don't you ever let some spoiled celebrity or athlete or socialist politician ever tell you otherwise.
Well, as a spoiled entertainer, I suppose, I wouldn't. Oh, Heather, thank you. From a real Heather, thank you. That's very nice. I appreciate that. An honest-to-goodness Heather, thank you. Sure you are. Thank you, comrade, for the blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Thanks, Heather. Don't forget, by the way, Venmo is probably a great way if you want to contribute. You're not hooked into loading and stuff, and you just take a picture of that with your phone, and you can help out that way or whatever, or become a patron. Patreon.com/HouseSparks.
America's not just an idea. It's
soon to be 52 states.
It's not just a constitution. America is our home, and we must.
Yeah. Right. It's a place. It's a country based on founding documents that, okay, yes, good. I'm glad somebody showed up.
We must protect our home. One thing America is not some
What's it not?
Vaccine to global tyranny that
We're not some vaccine to global tyranny. Oh, so it's not our problem anymore. I see. So we're not a force for good in the world. We're not the shining light on the hill. So this is just isolationism, and it's not our problem. And if we look the other way, maybe they'll just finish each other off, and we won't have to worry about them anymore.
We have to administer through decades.
No, Joe. Templeton, thank you so much. Tax dodge this, you angry Max Headroom. Gets not Hal. Thank you for clarifying that I'm not the angry Max Headroom you're talking about. I appreciate it.
Of military occupations in foreign lands. No success.
And by foreign lands, we mean the excrement-smeared streets of San Francisco.
Yes, means we honor how special America is. And it also means that we have to see our leaders for who they truly are.
Yes, especially when they are the mascot of a burger joint that had its heyday in the early 80s to mid 70s to early 80s and is really fell off since then, which I think is a shame because I think anybody likes that statue of the big boy right outside their thing, and the cameo in Austin Powers. You can't beat that.
Now, Liz Cheney.
Excuse me, what are you doing with that big pointy thing? I'm just making a phone call. That's my phone at the end of that. You sure that's not a scanning device? No, I'm not at all. It's not a scanning device. It's not a face tracking device where I'm working as an undercover person for the FBI. Like, look at that device. Look at the mic on the end of that guy's pole. Great job, Hal. Everyone, let's spam Hal with these. Oh, thank you, Donna. Oh, that's very sweet. Yes, we've seen a bit of a fall off since Trump got out of office as far as like super chats and the like, and it's completely understandable. They've seen a spike because they're panicking and whatever, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
For wearing makeup in my television appearances.
Who had that one in there? Just kind of pull it out of. What? Excuse me, young man. What? Who does what?
Truly are.
It's who we truly are is people who wear makeup during our television experience. What?
Now, Liz Cheney taunts me for wearing makeup in my television appearances.
And let me tell you what, I'll have you know, I wear makeup all the time, Liz. As a matter of fact, I wear less makeup when I'm on Fox News than anywhere else besides the floor of the house. Look, I don't even have my lashes on. Look, what do you expect me to do? Look at these lips. They're non-existent. Seriously, look at the serious Beavising that is happening with this young man.
Now, makeup only hides the slightest imperfections of the skin. It does very little to conceal the soulless corruption of Washington, D.C.
Right, so that's why no matter how much makeup you wear, we all know you're a cretinous liar. And the guy up there just sort of was texting a friend, heard what you said, and went, what? And even the cowboy is having a hard time. That's nice of you to say. I don't know what it means, but I like your style, dude. Thank you. Swedish. Thank you, this Swedish money laundry. Thanks. Thank you to the Swedes. You guys are actually part of our, you're allies, so it's okay. Oh, that's very sweet. Oh, why is that so small now? That's that guy. That has a little piece of music playing with it and everything. That was very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Frank and Smith Barry as well. Help me survive 2020. Well, that's why I'm here. We'll get through the rest of this. We got about 6 months left of this craziness. And then I'll go make a comedy, like a buddy cop show, so you guys will have something to watch, So I'll do 9 seasons of it between pandemics, so you have something to binge the next time.
It's pretty easy for me to get a little makeup off my shirt.
Is it now?
Far more difficult for Liz Cheney to get the blood off her hands after sending America's best to foreign lands to die for a knowable gain and personal profit.
Wait a minute. When did Liz... hold on one second. Can we check on when Liz Cheney got elected? Yeah, sorry, but Liz Cheney first got elected in 2016. What do you think she voted for the Iraq War because her dad was vice president? Thank you, Bethany. Oh, Rose, it's lovely. What is... Look, I don't like the woman. I think she's awful. But it's not like she was there for the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War vote. Like, what are you talking about? I don't even think she was there for the surge. Jesus. Blood on her hands. 'Cause what?
80% of Taliban fighters have never been more than 20 miles for their own home. And so it's a little confusing to me why Liz Cheney's always fighting in Congress to spend more money in Kandahar and in Arabia than in the great state of Wyoming.
Well, the people of Wyoming are Republicans. Thank you, Benny Loco. Everybody give a thumbs up in honor of Benny Loco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thumbs up, and I suppose the notification bell. Does that still work or matter? I think so. If it does for you, if it works and it doesn't annoy you, click away. If it does, then what? By the way, again, I can't tell you what a joy it is to watch Republicans chewing each other's backs over stuff they all agree on.
But maybe it shouldn't surprise us all that much. In 2016, in that election cycle, Liz Cheney announced her candidacy for Congress from Wyoming, from Virginia. How out of touch? Her
father was vice president. She's how out of touch? What would the people of Florida say to you chasing around, attacking Liz Cheney in Wyoming for your own future political endeavors?
Untouchable, she must think she is. Now, the neocons say we gotta fight them abroad so we don't have to fight them at home. Well, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of the people you're standing in front of think that. Seriously, Cowboy just went, that's exactly what we do, son.
We have to fight them abroad because we are abroad so much. You know, I was going to say, maybe we ought to fight the neocons at home so we don't have to fight them in Washington, D.C.
Oh, I see. So what we need to do is strafe bomb and shoot Republicans from a helicopter. What? Are you okay?
But that's the problem, isn't it? Because
yes is the problem. None of us know what the shit you're talking about, and you've lost Cowboy Guy now. Are you happy?
The neocons are at home in Washington, D.C.
Good point. They are at home, and well, they have an apartment there because they have to work there because it's a seat of government in our country, and our country matters. So you want the people who represent you from your state to be in Washington to do their job. You have to be there to vote. Yeah, I mean, if they just stayed in Wyoming, they wouldn't actually participate in it. But they wouldn't even be able to vote present. They represent you in Washington. Washington, D.C. has value as the seat of our government. That's where the actual Constitution is, Matt.
Liz Cheney and I came to Congress in the same.
Thank you, Laura Ipsum. By the way, I'm a big fan of your random text in whenever I start a slide on Keynote.
Class, but she was already a master of the ways of the Beltway in ways I will never be.
Her dad was vice president, dummy, and you are more of a kiss ass to the president than she was.
Because she's lived there for all but about 2 years of her life. That was a little bit of a problem.
Because her father was vice president.
When she wanted to run for the United States Senate here in Wyoming, she claimed to be a resident of the state for 10 years based on a fishing license.
Now do Josh Hawley.
Of course, she wasn't, and she quickly withdrew. By my count, that's the last time a Cheney had a viable exit strategy. I think you're...
Nice. Again, it's hard for me to not rub my hands together watching Republicans attack.
Your U.S. Senator Loomis said it best.
Totally. What did your Senator Loomis?
It's a unique strategy to live your entire life elsewhere and then come to a state a year before you're going to announce that you're going to run for that state's highest office.
Yeah, that's sort of... That's not actually a saying. You can't really fit that on a bumper sticker. You need a big goddamn bumper sticker for that. A big bumper. You're going to need a bigger bumper. Also, this is a guy who's never set foot in this state before. But please tell Wyoming what they want and need.
I think
he's been there an hour.
Senator Loomis is right. Liz Cheney is not Wyoming. But Cheney came back. The neocons are nothing if not persistent.
Yeah, well, at least I guess they're coordinated and they have a strategy They don't have an exit strategy, but they always have an enter strategy.
Now in 2016, I announced my campaign for Congress in Florida's 1st Congressional District. I represent the district that has the highest concentration of active duty military and veterans in America, and we love our military and veterans. You see,
he's in the Panhandle, I think, right?
You see where I come from, military families, they aren't just a great feature of our community, they are the essential ingredient of our community.
Well, yeah, because your community is the highest concentration of, what are you talking about? Do you think you would get elected without dealing with the highest concentration of people in your district?
And I see every day the cost of the wars that Liz Cheney has advocated for. I see it in the tearful goodbyes in airports, the marriages that are destroyed, the parenting that's interrupted.
She came in the same year you did.
Drug abuse, the veteran suicide, lost limbs, lost minds, lost lives, lost hope.
Amen.
Amen. But that said, so I'm guessing you appreciate the VA Choice Act of 2014 then.
We are here in the cowboy state.
Well, I mean, there's several cowboy states. I mean, they call themselves the cowboy state, but you can't. Sorry, I forgot. Identity, right?
Now I understand that, the media, they used to call Bush Cheney cowboys abroad, but I think that's a slur. Because the cowboys I know, sure, they're tough and they're brave, but they're also judicious and smart and thoughtful and tender and gentle.
Tender and gentle. That cowboy's looking pretty sweet right about now. He's giving you the look, Matt. My goodness, boy.
When the cause comes. Not exactly what you think of.
Wait, hold on, what? They're tender and gentle when the cause comes?
And they're brave, but they're also judicious and smart and thoughtful and tender and gentle when the cause comes.
Tender and gentle when the cause comes. I'm not even going to try to understand what that means. Tender and gentle when the cause comes. I hear it gets mighty cold up here in the mountains of Wyoming, and you never want to watch a movie like Brokeback alone in the woods on a big projection screen out of the back of a pickup truck without some big cowboy.
Exactly what you think about when you think of disloyal Liz Cheney.
Yeah, she'll never hold you tight on a cold winter night when you're scared of bears.
Now
wrong kind of bear.
The real cowboys, I guess they fought Indians so that they could use the land. But what are America's soldiers even fighting for that Liz Cheney sends all around the world? What are the great benefits that we all get from our misadventures in Syria and Afghanistan and Somalia? Places that a lot of Americans couldn't even point to on a map.
So basically, because you can't find it on a map, Matt, you're saying that the whole going after the ISIS caliphate was a waste of time. Because that's the reason why we allegedly stuck around in all these places, and why in all these other countries we're stopping Al Qaeda and there's 3 different versions of Al Qaeda now. All of those guys, North Africa, Yemen. That's why. Okay, all right.
You see, real cowboys, they would have found greener pastures than Afghanistan, and it wouldn't have taken them 20 years to do it.
I honestly don't know who he's talking to with this.
We are here in Wyoming, and in a lot of ways, this feels like the most American of states.
Ass kisser. Why is it the most American of states? Let me check something, if I may. Wyoming, population, race. All right. So what's the okay? The U.S. Census. Okay. The most American of states, Wyoming. What do we appreciate from this wonderful state in the Northwest-ish? Well, with a population of 578,000 people, smaller than most big city suburbs, it has a governor, 2 senators, multiple congresspeople, and one of them has control over multiple committees in the Republican Party. Thank you, Verena. 578,000 people in this whole goddamn state. They have 2 senators. Are you kidding me? Population estimates April 1st, 2010, 563. It's gone up by 10, allegedly. This was 2019, so they've gone down, however. Let's see, race. White alone, 92.5%. 92. Wait, I'll have to slide this over for you guys to see it. Let me see if I can blow this up. Plus. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, here we go. Persons under 5. There you go. White alone percent. There it is. 92.5%. The most American of states. Yeah, that's your identity. Exactly, Can't Stop Lying. That's why he's saying we are the identity. That's where that word identity comes in. Criminy. Black African American alone percent, 1.3%. Native American or Alaskan Native alone, 2.7%. Asian alone, 1.1%. Native Hawaiian, 0.1%. 2 or more races, there's some biracial folks, there's 2.2%. Hispanic or Latino, 10%. And white alone, not Hispanic or Latino percent, 83.7%. So even the, this is the white alone. They get counted twice. 44,000. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. 578,000 people in this friggin' state. 578,000 white people, basically. Seriously, it's like 520,000 white people. Why is he there? He's there to bitch at Liz Cheney and say she doesn't belong there. Seriously, though. I mean, consider this. That he just said the most... What was that again? What was that you said there, Matt Gaetz? Boy.
This feels like the most American of states. Self-reliant, on the frontier, maybe a little hard to get to. And so how is it then that Wyoming has such a disappointing congresswoman? I guess you have to ask yourself the question, why is it that America has such a disappointing Congress?
You're in it. I mean, that's a simple answer, I think.
Because in a lot of ways, Liz Cheney is exactly like Congress. Deeply unpopular and owned by special interests.
Liz Cheney is like my adopted son. Not my son, not really adopted, has parents, lives in my house.
Matter of fact, last year, in the year 2020, Liz Cheney...
By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Matt Gaetz and Nestor, Nestor.
...raised more money from political action committees than she raised from actual human beings.
She has a state of 500,000 people.
Think of...
How many districts do they have? What, did she get one of those? It's 100,000 people, right? There's, what are there, 5 districts?
About that. More money from PACs than from people.
By volume, because they're a poor ranching state. Wyoming has like rich people with ski lodges and a bunch of broke sons of bitches with ranches. On ranches, rather.
Works for them, not you. She does their bidding, not yours.
Well, are you in her district?
I stand before
Somebody just yelled traitor.
you the only Republican in Congress who refuses all donations from political action committees. That money is no good with me.
Nobody's giving you any money. You can't get any PAC money. And the super PACs themselves, you just float on the issues. Like, look, I know that I could totally get any supermodel I want, but I refuse to even let a supermodel talk to me.
The American people should be our one and only special interest.
U.S. freedom? Did somebody just yell, listen to this one?
Only special interest. You know, Liz Cheney.
U.S. Did she say U.S. pricks? What was that?
Interest. You know,
it sounded like U.S. pricks. Did it sound like that to me? What was that?
Liz Cheney calls herself a leader in Washington, but to me, being a leader does not mean winning an election.
Yeah. Leaders don't necessarily have to actually get in office.
Amongst a bunch of politicians. Being a leader doesn't even mean that you've lived a flawless personal life. I can tell you, I sure haven't. I don't.
One moment. We share no blood, but he is my life. Rep. Matt Gaetz said he has a Cuban son, although not by blood. After a fire exchange in Congress over the violence black people face from police, the revelation was met with surprise and skepticism from critics of the outspoken Republicans, since until the emotional exchange Wednesday, the unmarried representative is not believed to be a father. Was not believed to be a... Are you suggesting that you're sort of certain that none of us have non-white children because you reflect on your black son and say none of us could understand? Gaetz said to Cedric Richmond of Louisiana. Matt, stop. I'm not going to get sidetracked about the color of our children. It's not about the color of our kids. It's about black males, black people in the streets that are getting killed. You're claiming that you have more concern for my family than I do? Gaetz responded, banging on his desk with an open. Who in the hell do you think you are? For all those wondering, this is Nestor. We share no blood, but he is my life. He came from Cuba, legally, of course, 6 years ago, and he lives with me in Florida. I am so proud of him, and raising him has been the best, most rewarding thing I've done in my life. BuzzFeed reached out to Gaetz's office on whether the lawmaker had legally adopted Nestor, but did not immediately hear back from the spokesperson. You don't say. Matt Gaetz describes himself as a single step parent to Nestor. This is like, where, let's see, announces Cuban son. There we go. Nestor tweets resurfaced. Twitter trolls politician. Has not been officially adopted by the politician, but the two are said to have a very close relationship. I think one of the things let's see. Father. Let's see. Nestor, we go to real father, I guess. Florida Rep. Matt Gaetz tells the story of the teen he's been raising, whom he calls his son. 6 years ago, he met the young boy he now calls his son. Nestor Gayaban was 12, and he just arrived from Cuba, where he'd grown up and where his mother had recently died of breast cancer, Gaetz says. Then as state legislator, Gaetz was dating Nestor's older sister. He says that, except for an interruption during Nestor's junior year after Gaetz and Nestor's sister broke up, Nestor has basically lived with him since moving from Cuba. He is part of my family story, my work with Nestor, our family. No element in my public service can compare to the joy our family has brought me. Hold on one second. Nestor has a real dad, though. Lives, let's see. I try to find, yes. Nestor, real father. Let's see. What are we gonna do? A few weeks ago, this is, and by the way, this is the back and forth that they had. Hold on. Whoa. That's the Rep. Gaetz and son Nestor talk to Tucker. So this is the, oh, it's being very slow. I don't know why. Play.
I am absolutely sitting here offended and angry as hell. And I want to explain to what we always say is how we refer to each other, my good friends on the other side. By the time I'm finished, you will be clear that we are not good friends. I am not interested in moving at a snail's pace. I am not interested in a watered-down bill that mandates nothing. I'm not interested in studying Antifa. I'm not even interested in studying the Klan or sovereign citizens right now, because that is not the imminent threat that black men face on a daily basis. And right now, too often, it is law enforcement, those who were sworn to protect and to serve.
But that is not
So
Deborah Birx
all we're
right there,
asking today is to deal with that. I don't mind dealing with other pieces of legislation. I don't mind dealing with other issues that you all may have. And what I don't want to leave this conversation with, and why I'm speaking now instead of later, is because I don't want you all to leave here saying, well, we didn't know. We didn't know that's how you felt, Cedric. I want it to be crystal clear, and I will give you the benefit of the doubt that it is an unconscious bias that I'm hearing, because at worst it's conscious bias, and that I would hate to assume from any of the people on the other side.
Will the gentleman yield?
Sure.
I appreciate your passion. Are you suggesting that you're certain that none of us have non-white children? Because you reflected on your black son and you said none of us could understand.
Matt, stop. I'm not about to get sidetracked about the color of our children. We're talking about black kids. I reclaimed my time.
You said that.
I reclaimed my time. I know.
You want the discussion?
I know that
Gentleman reclaimed his time.
I said I reclaimed my time. I already know that there are people on the other side that have black grandchildren. It is not about the color of your kids. It is about black males, black people in the streets that are getting killed. And if one of them happens to be your kid, I'm concerned about him too. And clearly I'm more concerned about him than you are. So let's be clear about that.
You're claiming you're more concerned for my family than I do? Who in the hell do you think you are?
If the shoe fits.
You don't know how much we care about our families.
Kick dog holler.
You should take those words down. I know you care about your family and love your family.
The gentleman will suspend. The gentleman will suspend. The time belongs to the gentleman from Louisiana.
Have some Starbucks. Chill out for a second. Yeah, just now take a swig of of your chai tea latte. Cross your legs. Cool out, Matt.
Louisiana.
Cedric, would you yield?
Was that a nerve?
Yeah, you damn
I yield
right it
to
was
the
a
gentleman from Louisiana.
You damn right it was a nerve. And then afterwards he was like, people don't know what I'm talking about. So here's there's him and Nestor and this thing, and he's just getting together. And a little while ago, and I'll have to look up the article, we had a guy come forward and go, I'm actually Nestor's dad. I live a couple miles away. To note, Nestor didn't arrive until after Gaetz's outburst. Oh my God. Lord have mercy.
I'd probably say not even former President Trump has.
You think? You mean 27 sexual assault allegations? Oh, sorry, I didn't flip back to the other page. Whoops.
Leadership doesn't mean backing a Nancy Pelosi fueled impeachment by reflex.
No, it means supporting an actual impeachment that you believe is right and protects the laws and bylaws of the country and the citizenry and our democracy. That's leadership. What isn't is reflexively being defensively against it in spite of all the evidence to suck up to Donald Trump. That would arguably be.
There's basic basically two things that Liz Cheney has done in the United States Congress: frustrate the agenda of President Trump and sell out to the forever war machine that blows stuff up that nobody cares about, that
blow stuff up that nobody cares about. Okay.
rebuilds stuff nobody wants, and that borrows money from China to do it. All the while.
We don't borrow money from China to do it. We sell bonds on the international market, and they purchase some of them. We don't go begging hat in hand to China or anybody else. As a matter of fact, it's one of the last places we actually request anybody invest in the country.
While defense contractors get rich, lobbyists get powerful.
Right. Good point. Yeah. Meanwhile, Trump is bombing an empty airfield in Syria to show the Russians who's boss.
Congress members get reelected, and our bravest patriots, the best among us, die and are maimed on the battlefield.
Fighting for us and making sure that, international terrorism doesn't reach our shore again, in theory at least. I mean, it's not like they go over there and just blow up huts.
Our position is consistent. Liz Cheney's is not, and how can you even...
Yeah, that's true. This is consistently what we've heard from the Republicans for years.
Call yourself a representative when you don't represent the will of the people.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Matt. How can you be a Republican when your party just lost 80 million to 72?
that's what all the neocons ask about the Arab dictators. I figure maybe we ought to ask the same question of a Beltway bureaucrat turned fake cowgirl who supported an impeachment that is deeply unpopular in the state of Wyoming.
Yeah, but leadership is about doing things that are right even when they're unpopular. Right? I mean, I would argue that almost anyone recognizes that that's part of it, whether you agree with the impeachment or not. Yeah. Man.
Our position is remarkably consistent. And yeah,
doggy style?
Liz Cheney's kind of a hypocrite on the issue of regime change, I would say. Like
but we're going to see some regime change in the Republican Party. But like this is, I mean, do we not know what the setup and knockdown is on all these statements?
Supports regime change in the Middle East.
Well, we're about to support some regime change in Washington, D.C.
She supported Nancy Pelosi's regime change impeachment of Donald Trump. But when a majority of the Republicans in Congress say this person no longer speaks for us, all of a sudden Liz Cheney's against regime change. You know, I think our position is the right one. Remove troops from Germany and Korea when they have served their purpose. Remove
ugly places where we're bombing stuff and cleaning stuff up that nobody wants to see, and you can't find Germany and South Korea on a map. Does he recognize that those aren't the troops that are in danger, and that Germany is one of the places where our troops actually go when they're injured first? Jesus.
Troops from Afghanistan, where
I mean, what are you going to do? This is his first time in Wyoming.
There is no purpose. Remove troops from Syria, where there wasn't even a purpose in the first place.
Well, no, we were working with fighters there to stop ISIS, and then Trump pulled them out and allowed them to be boxed in between the Russians and the Turks and be murdered. They weren't there for no reason. All right.
And remove Liz Cheney
Sorry, James.
as the leader of the Republican conference.
So we're gonna see some regime change in the Republican Congress, right?
Because based on the numbers I've seen, Liz Cheney is less popular among Republicans in her own state than Muammar Gaddafi was among the Libyans.
So basically, they hung him. So why don't you see what I'm going with? See where all my allegories end up with the death of Liz Cheney? I mean, come on. What could be preferable? Where was I? Let's see. Sorry, wind is blowing my paper. It's so much windier here in Wyoming than it is in Florida. Let's see. Where was I? Hang Liz Cheney. There I am. Okay, I'm back to...
Hold on. I got to get the... So I had a chance to communicate with President Trump yesterday. He sends loves you all so much, and President Trump is going to keep fighting for this country with every breath that he has.
So we should expect him to be wheezing a lot.
But he wanted me to share with you the results from a poll that was just released yesterday.
Oh my God. He wanted you to share a poll. Well, we know this is real. You know, a lot of this, hi UK, hello London, how are you? London! We know that this is true now. We absolutely know that Matt Gaetz really did talk to Trump and that he really did ask him to do this, because only Trump would ask someone to share a poll with people instead of a message. Or yeah, it's totally the 51% Rasmussen thing.
70% of all Wyoming voters believe that the impeachment trial is unconstitutional.
Oh, yeah. Why does Matt Gaetz keep saying regime? Because the people of Wisconsin are used to the idea of regime being something that's in a foreign country that relates to a dictatorship that we should take out with airstrikes. And if he relates that to the people he once killed in Washington, then it'll gin up some crazy militia types in Wyoming to do the job for him. And he can go, what? I just went up there. I'd never been there before.
2/3 of all voters in Wyoming disapprove of Liz Cheney's vote to impeach President Trump.
Right, but leadership is leadership, and sometimes you have to do the right thing, even though people might not be aware of how important and real it is. I mean, that's what the tough votes are, right?
Almost 60% approve of the Republicans removing Liz Cheney from Republican leadership.
Almost 60%. Almost 60% of Republicans. I see. By the way, I'm adoring this. Yes, because 50, almost.
Oh, hold on.
Oh my God, is Trump calling in? Oh my God, he was checking to make sure that you were reading the poll. Seriously.
A man who loves Wyoming, who loves to hunt and fish. How about a word for Donald Trump Jr.?
Oh, all right. Well, it's Junior. It's not quite. It's Donald Trump Jr. Oh, no. All right. Well.
John, what do you have to share with the people of Wyoming?
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, guys? Wyoming?
So, Wyoming, it seems like based on the numbers that Matt just talked about, it seems like Liz Cheney's favorables there are only slightly worse than her father's shooting skills.
Adorable.
What I've seen in Republican leadership, they're supposed to do a couple of things. They're supposed to raise money to help the party. They're supposed to recruit new members. They're supposed to lead. And I've been pretty involved for the last few years, and I haven't seen...
Very involved. I haven't seen any of that. I've been very involved in the leadership, and I haven't raised money or made and recruited new members or done any of that.
Liz Cheney do any of those things. So it's time to have a change at the top. It's time to have people that are going to start representing the people, not their own.
That's right. Yes. We need to recall Liz Cheney, and people need to write in Matt Gaetz.
Agendas, not their own nonsense.
It doesn't matter that he doesn't live there. She didn't either.
But their constituency. And since the people of Wyoming are clearly not thrilled with Liz Cheney, let's find someone who can replace her and actually do that job
well. He's like, it's a recording.
Is let's find someone good and let's find one person and back it. The only way that never-ending war Liz Cheney stays in there is if 20 people run.
Grown man holding a microphone, a phone up to a microphone. Again, we're in 2021, folks. 2021. Someone can't pipe this in? Does anyone? Seriously.
20 people split up the vote.
You're Don, you're losing Matt.
She gets a couple of the rhino losers together to actually take the biggest number. So let's be careful about who it is. Don't just back the first person that comes along. Let's vet these guys.
Yeah, fight about it. Yeah, like don't just back the first person. You want to really just get in there and argue. Really just wait till the last minute and don't vet anyone either. I mean,
Guys, and find the antithesis of Liz Cheney. Let's find someone who's for America and against wars. It's for the working man.
For America and against wars.
And against the special interests. Let's find exactly the opposite of her, and let's back that person fully. But let's not make that decision today.
We need to get somebody, find somebody great, but let's not do it right now. I don't know any of these people, and I'm not coming there anytime soon.
Sometime, let's find the right one. Let's not split this vote up and blow our opportunity to get rid of a rhino.
No, that's exactly what you're going to do. She's going to skate on her name. You're going to run some psycho QAnon dumbass, and she's going to flush them down the toilet and stay in the seat. It's like, thank you, Don. I don't give a crap. Get rid of this.
Now, there are some who've only sought the removal of Liz Cheney following impeachment, but I'll share with you, I'm OG on the Team Cheney removal movement. I called for her ouster when she went after one of America's best congressmen, Thomas Massie. Now, Thomas might not be as well known as I am, but he's far smarter.
Well, that's true of nearly every American.
Kentucky genius, went to MIT, helped develop and advance virtual reality of all things. I think
right, which is the essence of modern Republican governance.
Congress is probably the worst of virtual reality.
See what he said? It's because it's whatever I was saying a good thing, and they're bad. Oh God.
But you know.
Yeah, thank you for your courage, for just the guts it takes to go outside with that head attached to that body is a remarkable thing.
With Thomas, he does stuff that in Washington seems very weird, very strange, very peculiar.
You mean like, let's see, what did Thomas Massie get kicked out for? Hold on, let's see, Thomas Massie. Whoops. Let's see, Rep. Thomas Massie. John has been, he's a Republican Party. Okay, Congressman Massie. Okay. Let's see, opinion. Thomas Massie is a monster Republicans created. This is going to go well. Republicans were aghast that one of their own had committed such a monstrously selfish act. Thomas Massie, Republican Kentucky, is purely symbolic opposition to the $2.2 trillion emergency coronavirus legislation, forced hundreds of his colleagues to risk their lives literally by flying back to Washington. So what if many of them are they're elderly or are at high risk? To thwart Massie's pointless protest and attempt to force a roll call vote instead of a simple voice vote, leaders had to summon 216 members to fill the chamber, eerily separated on the floor and in the gallery above to limit infection. This fruitless, immoral gesture by the 49-year-old legislator was in service of another, to thwart a nearly unanimous Congress from dispensing aid to the sick and suffering in the middle of a pandemic. President Trump called Massie a third-rate grandstander and proposed to throw Massie out of the Republican Party. I'm sorry. Yes, he's 49. This guy is last year. Well, he's 2 years younger than me, this guy. So and that's an old picture. I came here to make sure our republic doesn't die by unanimous consent in an empty chamber, and I request a recorded vote, the bespectacled rebel said in his quickly stifled stunt, beg your pardon. Shut the F up, Ruben Gallego of Arizona replied from the gallery. So yeah, he called for everybody to gather. Liz Cheney, attacked Massie.
Washington seems very weird, very strange, very peculiar.
to call people into during a heavily contagious disease to have a voice vote when it's not necessary.
You see, when the leadership in both parties team up for trillions of dollars in spending without so much as a recorded vote, Thomas objects to make Congress actually show up and vote before
in the middle of a pandemic for a bill that everyone was for.
They can sell out the American people.
So by the way, the $2.2 trillion package last year, according to Matt Gaetz, sold out the American people, just for the record.
When presidents of both parties have...
By the way, he's hoping they don't know what he's talking about, that they think it means some sort of budgetary thing years ago.
...tried to do an end run around Congress to suck our nation into new endless war.
I beg your pardon? They want to what?
Tried to do an end run around Congress to suck our nation.
Well, I bet. Speak for yourself.
Into new endless wars. Thomas Massie votes with the Constitution, not with party leadership.
Yeah, but that wasn't what that bill was about.
And when senior government officials
Hi, Sharon in San Francisco.
Our intelligence community spy on Americans, break the law, and lie to Congress about it, Thomas Massie exposes them to protect the rest of us. Now,
No, he exposes them to a pathogen.
Thomas may be eccentric and different, but I think we need more brilliant people in Congress, not less.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, how are we going to pass that bill from, Schoolhouse Rock, that I'm just a Bill story, and they had the bill about school buses stopping at every train crossing to save children's lives. Thomas Massie is the only congressman that suggested that we all vote while standing on the tracks in the middle of the night. He's eccentric, sure, but he thinks you should really experience the baseline of the bill.
But see, there is no room for the liberty-loving contingent of our movement in Liz Cheney's Republican Party.
Trump called that guy an asshole.
When Massie got crossways with Trump, Liz backed a primary challenger, and Thomas won with over 80% of the vote.
Got crossways with Trump? So she supported Trump's side of the argument. Seriously, I'm so happy these people are biting each other's necks.
I welcome the libertarians, the Prairie populists, the America First crowd, and I think
the libertarians. By the way, libertarians aren't actually a thing. Thank you, Bronwyn Fox. Bless you for that. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for the support today. I think, and Janet, thank you for the Venmo. I just noticed that it just popped up and reminded me of it. Thank you so much, Janet. These people are just. I don't even know if he knows why he's attacking her. He literally she backed Trump against Massie's stupid stunt, and now he's backing Massie against Liz Cheney and Trump and pretending that Massie got crossways with Trump.
We'll have to probably forgive each other of our preferences and our foils and follies, our peculiarities and our peccadillos.
Our what? Our Peckerwoods.
Of our preferences and our foils and follies, our peculiarities and our peccadillos, because it is going to take every one of us working together, driving our agenda and saving this great country, the greatest country that has ever existed in all of human history.
The United States of Wyoming, a place I have only just arrived in. Dudes, I have been dealing with this. I love you, Nestor. I wish you were here. I love you, Nestor. Come climb a tree with me. Sorry. It just looks.
I think we're better than the mean girls style of politics of Liz Cheney that would...
The mean girls style of politics. You are watching a political party adrift.
Stuff the nerds into lockers and...
Jesus.
Question the masculinity of her critics.
What?
Lockers and question the masculinity of her critics.
Oh, right, because she said men don't wear makeup in Wyoming, and he came down there to show him how much makeup he wears. I see.
In 1988, when George H.W. Bush was accepting the Republican nomination for president, he said, "I am a quiet man, and I hear the quiet people of this country. Well, America first, we are not a quiet movement, and I am not a quiet man."
Yeah, so we know you yell. It gives you the illusion of having a point. So far, you've done nothing but attack your own party from within, which is the only endearing thing about you. Mean girl politics. Good Lord.
I may be a canceled man in some corners, but I hear the forgotten, the canceled, the downtrodden, and those who
The canceled.
believe that they need a voice in our government that actually speaks for them.
That's totally you, Matt. You should just run and you're running for Cheney's seat.
What I hear is that
Run,
the silent
Matt.
majority is getting louder every day.
Yeah, that's why we have to change our name, because we're not the silent majority anymore. We're the Karen majority.
Now, Liz Cheney denounces me for being on television. She who was once a paid television contributor. You know, hey, at least they don't have to pay me. I'll go anywhere.
They can't. You're a sitting congressperson, dummy. After you leave office, Matt Gaetz will be a paid contributor on Fox News. Count on it.
I'll be on any
If he can, if they have him.
network. I'll take on any host to defend America and
Thank you,
her
Andrew.
people. That is what our movement requires.
You heard that Gaetz gave Ventura a handy under the Denver airport? That is not actually a fact. That never happened. His hands are too small.
Wyoming is a great state.
They're wispy little bird hands. It's kind of disgusting. Honest to God.
You are great people. You are real America.
You are 98% white.
We are in a battle for the soul of the Republican Party, and I intend to win it.
Yeah, the devil would.
You can
Bring out the penguin, right?
help me. You can help me break a corrupt system. You can send a representative who actually represents you. And
Find one. We don't know who they are. I just got here. I've only been down here for an hour.
you can send Liz Cheney home. Back home to Washington, D.C. Thank you all so much.
Back home to Washington, D.C. Because she works in... Dude, you just send her... You just did an ad for her. Send her back to Washington. So, like, good God.
God bless you. God
He's not running for anything. He's running against Liz Cheney. Okay, we have to end on something fun, so... yeah.
Mike Lindell of My Pillow. Boy, do you sell those pillows? That's unbelievable what you do.
That's unbelievable.
My Pillow has designated some of its call center to help U.S. companies navigate the many issues that resulted from this pandemic. We've dedicated 75% of my manufacturing to produce cotton face masks.
Because cotton face masks don't help any more than you need an N95 or some other. But I mean, I appreciate you have all the cotton sitting around, and the president paid you to do it. So
there you go. That was Mike Lindell, CEO of My Pillow, back in March of last year. Seems like a long time ago.
Was a long time ago.
His company was one of the first to respond to the call for PPE during America's hour of need during the height of the coronavirus pandemic.
He got paid by government funds.
And today, Lindell is among the most canceled people in the country.
Yeah, for good reason.
He's been kicked off social media as being dropped by business partners due to cancel culture and his ties to the president, former president.
Is it cancel culture, or is it because he's toxic as hell and is a lunatic?
Trump and comments about the election. Lindell is also the author of a best-selling book, though. What are the odds? From crack addict to CEO, Mike Lindell. Crack addict to CEO. And Mr. Lindell, Mike, thanks for joining us. Good to see you, of course. I just want to start with this. Your product has been dropped by Bed Bath Beyond, Kohl's, Kroger, and some other retailers that you can see here on the screen.
Home Shopping Network, that's got to suck. Kroger, it's a grocery store. Really? They sell pills? Maybe on their website?
There they are.
By the way, he's looking a little wound up.
Impact is this having on your company?
Well, I want to add a couple more to that. Mattress Firm and the shopping channel in Minnesota, Shop HQ.
Yeah.
And it just keeps coming. And the impact is this. Here's what it manifests to. We're busy. Everybody's supporting us. They're buying our products. They're buying direct. They're buying from the box stores that stuck with us. And all these other box stores that did this, they're the ones that are suffering because these were bots and trolls that attack with cancel culture. Sure. They're not real people.
Yeah, totally. They were, yeah. Twitter's entire terms of service are run by bots and trolls.
Twitter and Facebook let them use these attack groups that attack. So then these companies, out of fear, they go, "Oh, we're going to get boycotted." So they dropped the company. They dropped MyPillow. But now what?
Oh, boycotted? You mean like Diamond and Silk tell them to do?
What's happening is customers they're cutting up their credit cards. They're going into the stores with shopping carts and leaving a note. You didn't have MyPillow, so they're losing their real customers. And so in other words, these kind of attacks not only hurt the people that are getting attacked.
Please, why are you showing this guy? It's really weird to listen to him on having an interview while you can't hear what he's actually saying in the ad because it just looks like he's like, I'm molesting this pillow. I love this pillow. They rub it on my belly. I love rubbing it on my belly.
They're trying to cancel out. It hurts the ones that drop them because we were a big part of all their business. Some of them were 6-7 year relationships.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, and what? Yeah, they stopped carrying them because you're a nutcase. It's not that you're conservative. I'm sick of this nonsense. It's conservative voices. They're stymieing it. No, it isn't. You played a part in paying for the vans that brought people to the Capitol. You were the one who was claiming that this was all fraud and were ginning these people up.
It is an actual cancer, and it doesn't care what it eats. I mean,
oh, it's an actual cancer. Oh, I didn't realize that. Is it? Do you use chemo or?
That's exactly right. Bed Bath & Beyond and Kohl's both claim
is a cancer.
Claim that they stopped selling your product because of poor sales.
MyPillow's been there of all the companies in this country. Been their star product. So, and I have 100.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go to Bed Bath & Beyond for just the bed stuff, and not even all the bed stuff, just the pillow part of the bed stuff. I don't even touch the Bath & Beyond part.
110 products. So
actually, it's really true that the Beyond part is MyPillow.
If you had one that was slow, pick up the sheets or the topper or the bath towels. I mean, they all did it within a couple of days of each other. So, I guess
based on your behavior,
they can sit and tell you everybody that, but they got to say something. I want to tell you this about the other way they canceled too. Twitter suspended my account.
That was an edit.
But my friends kept saying, "Hey, how come you're not posting anything on Twitter?" I said, "Well, I'm suspended." They go, "No, you're not. You're retweeting stuff." Twitter was running my Twitter account. Then I tried to shut the whole thing down, and I got a letter from Twitter Germany that said, "You cannot take anything down." So when they finally gave me access to my account 2 days ago, I put up a nice letter by one of my employees to help my integrity. They took it down in 5 minutes. They didn't want the public to know what my true story is.
Yeah,
Well, or what you had one of your employees post as your true story as a cover story for all the stuff that you'd really been doing. But they were running you were retweeting things. German Twitter was
and it
retweeting
doesn't surprise
things.
Anybody, and the lengths that they're going with this stuff is really scary. And
yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy. It's almost like it's insane.
To remind people, your company was one of the first that jumped into action to respond when we needed so many things. We needed masks. We needed all sorts of stuff. You remember when all the companies got in and the car companies?
Yeah, the MyPillow ventilators are the shizzle.
Started making the ventilators. And now there's this fight to just totally cancel you out after you did a great thing.
Right. Well, this, we're always there for anyone in this country. The gift of giving is a God-given, and that's what I love. And, all the in Minneapolis, when they attacked Minneapolis and our terrible governor and mayor let them burn down Minneapolis.
Right.
The National Guard, I gave.
Minneapolis is burned down. Do we have a? We no longer. How's Paisley Park? That's all I give a shit about. I want First Avenue at 7th Street entrance, and you can have the rest of the office buildings, but we're saving that.
Them all pillows. I tried to get pillows to this to D.C. to all them, but this administration wouldn't allow them in. And then, you know, whenever there's a
this administration wouldn't allow pillows into to
all them, but this administration wouldn't allow them in. And then, you know, whenever there's a hurricane or whatever, we're there. Millions of dollars worth of stuff. We donated $2 million worth of masks to the state of Minnesota. This stuff doesn't make the news because we do it. It's the gift of giving. I don't do it for publicity. We at My Pillow, we have.
You don't do it for publicity, no.
2,500 employees. They're all like a big family. And you know what? When you're hurting these guys' career, I want you to think twice about cancel culture out there and what you're doing to
Why don't you think twice about the bullshit you're saying as CEO of a company when everybody else relies on your job, on your perception as the head of the company because it's you holding the pillow. See, Mike, the reason I made the joke about it being Mike Pillow is because you're so intertwined with the pillow itself. It's my pillow. You're always in the ads. You're speaking as the owner of the company. If you distanced yourself from it, it wouldn't affect their jobs as much because you'd be a part of it, but not the overarching voice of the entire company. But you have aligned your product with your beliefs, and your beliefs are lunacy and are getting people killed.
To American manufacturing and jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't care.
No, you are doing this to American manufacturing and jobs. You're such an egomaniac that you can't have your product without your face attached to it, and therefore your employees have to suffer because it's about you being friends with the president and your insane conspiracy theories and nonsense.
They really don't care. They don't care what you've done right. They don't care that you helped during the pandemic. They don't even...
Yeah, nobody. How come nobody brings up Al Capone's orphanages? I mean, honestly.
Care apparently about your charitable work as well.
They don't care about Al Capone's orphanages, do they? No. Some tax stuff, the occasional guy who gets beat to death with a bat. I mean, but the orphanages.
They cancel that?
Right, absolutely. When companies get hired to cancel you out, like Sleeping Giant on Twitter, these are hit groups, and they just sit in a room, and these bots and trolls. I want any companies out.
Really? What's that like? How does that work? Did Trump tell you this is how they work? Because this is who he hires? By the way, we don't need to hear all of this nonsense. This is more of his stuff. I just wanted to throw you in. He's everywhere.
Woke mob culture that's attacking.
He's everywhere talking about cancel culture.
Great Americans who literally, like you, Mike Lindell joins us, have turned their life around.
From the same room he was in on the other one, this is Dan Ball. Sign in to see 130. No, this is from OAN.
Created a small empire for themselves, which employs thousands of people.
And he doesn't care what happens to them as long as he gets to rub elbows with the president.
Right? Pays taxes like Mike does, then gets attacked and wants to put you out of business.
Why? Wait, sorry. What's he getting attacked for? Is he getting attacked? Or did he attack democracy and people are pushing back? Because no one sought out Mike Pillow to mess with him. All whinging and whining aside about cancel culture, you step out, there are ramifications. You say your piece, and you want to say you're courageous and you're holding the line and all this kind of stuff, then you got to be willing to take the lumps in spite of that fact. And if you go whinging about it, well, my employees, you did this. If you have an argument that is worth this kind of a fight, and you're going to put their jobs on the line to get your point across, here's a good idea. Don't sound like a maniac. Organize your thoughts and have more than there was a guy that I saw, this is like 10,000 pieces of paper where a guy was lost. And they, these machines were built by Hugo Chavez. Like, you're talking out of your ass. You're repeating stuff you heard from Rudy Giuliani and not well. And I know because I've watched all of Rudy's stuff and I've seen you parrot those exact moments, those exact statements.
Simply speaking your opinion. Mike?
No, not for simply speaking his opinion. For literally paying to wrap buses with "Stop the Steal" and pictures of Donald Trump and busing people to the Capitol rally that eventually ended up storming the Capitol, where a cop was beat to death. 2 have committed suicide. 56 of them are injured. One's going to lose his eye. Another one got stabbed with a fence spike. Not speaking his mind. I don't give a shit if he spoke his mind. People would go, I'm not sure about that Mike Pillow guy. I might not buy the pillow. And it was the fact that he financed the bus tour of Stop the Steal and OAN almost entirely.
Thanks for coming on the show. My first
spoke his opinion. Get out of here.
We talked last night was,
you guys talked last night? How'd it go? Was it a good conversation? You weren't wearing suits, were you? It was kind of relaxed. You're kicking back, cigar bar.
Does this woke mob, do these idiots on the left not realize?
I feel seen.
By doing this, by trying to crush you personally.
They're not trying to crush you personally. They're trying to defend democracy from you. That's it. I mean, he's not getting crushed by anybody personally. I don't give a shit about Mike Lindell.
They could possibly put thousands of people out of work that work.
No, you, by your sycophanting following, paying my pillow money, which made you rich, is going into wrapping buses for the Stop the Steal. That's what this is about. This is not about him speaking his mind. Nobody likes it.
For you that make your product, if you can't sell them, they don't think about this stuff.
Right. I have 2,500 employees, and
Yeah, we know. And why didn't you think about them when you started spending the company's profits wrapping buses with "Stop the Steal" and pictures of Donald Trump?
But this all started, just because I put out evidence that there's machine fraud, and
no, you didn't. You put out allegations that there was machine fraud. We looked at all this stuff. You didn't put any of it out yourself. He didn't, unless you count giving, Rudy Giuliani a ride on your goddamn bus.
What is that so bad? I've seen it. So why would?
No, you haven't. And it's not evidence. You're talking about statistical anomalies. In normal elections, there's not nearly this many mail-in votes.
Why would I say that? And why would I do that? And what they've done, they went into this big attack on all my box stores, and they've dropped me so many box stores. Now, new ones today, Slumberland, Shop HQ. The list just keeps getting bigger.
Slumberland happened between the interviews.
But they don't realize these are bots and trolls. These aren't their customers. This is these groups hire these hit jobs to just destroy a company. And what a shame. And, and this all starts with social media, with Twitter and Facebook.
Which, if we didn't have those, we wouldn't have Trump. Okay, there's so much to this that's just ridiculous. I'm going to let you guys go because some of the folks are saying that, let me get over here, that AOC is on Twitch. So let me see if I can round up and raid her channel, and you guys can all tell her hi from me. Let's see. Oops, hold on. Sorry, my bad. Give me 1 second. There she is. Just chatting. That's all she's doing. So we're going to start a raid, and I want you guys to all tell her that Hal Sparks says hi. Okay? Is that cool? We'll end the show that way. And if you want to, whoops, hold on. Raid. Come on in there. Let's see. There you go. And raid. Something went wrong. Why is that doing it? Will she not? Can you not? Oh, there was a network error. I have to reopen this. Hold on. Whoop. Let me restart my page. See if I can do this. Might be a little tricky. There we go. Try it again. I might have to actually go to another. It might be Nope, she doesn't allow raids. All right, hold on. 1 second. Let me see if I can grab a. Let me try. Yeah, I'll do this differently. Hold on. We'll make it happen. Don't worry. I'm going to make this happen. Don't worry. And this only applies to the Twitch people. So the rest of you guys can, feel safe to, you can go over there, wherever you would like to go. Let me go to video producer. No, I need to go to stream manager. And then I need to hop over to here. And then I can try it again over on this. We'll try and then we'll do a raid. Maybe she might have a block against raids. So yeah, you can't raid her channel. Whamp wah. Oh, the hype train went away while I was trying to set it up. I beg your pardon, guys. Yeah, so she doesn't, I don't think she allows raids, which quite frankly is probably smart. So let me do this real quick. and I will give you guys the link if you guys want to all go in there. So, let's see if I can find the link for you guys so you guys can jump in there. Boink. I got to jump in here without it making noise. And then I'll grab this. And it's pretty easy, obviously. She's got her Brandon thing down. So we'll jump in there. Thanks for throwing that in there, guys. There you go. If you guys want to jump in there, just tell her I say hi and good on you. And I'll leave you guys if you guys want to jump over in there. And then I'm going to go finish watching the news. It's awesome to have you guys with me. I appreciate it. I know tonight is later than most nights. Tomorrow's the normal time, 3 o'clock. And then, of course, Saturday, regular radio show. We'll get into a groove. And then next week, midweek, I think we start technically the impeachment trial. So I will be shifting my daily stream some. It will be on during the regular time, but it also might be on longer depending on how much time they're spending on it, or if they start early and they do it in the morning, or they do it after they've done regular business, whether they do the impeachment in the second half of the day or in the first half of the day. We'll find out, and I'll modify based on that, but we're going to do it as we go. But just run over there and just tell her Hal Sparks says hi, and then enjoy what she's talking about and ask your questions of her and all that kind of stuff. And take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Much love to you guys. Thank you guys for the super chats today. Thank you, Grant Bowie, for the bits, and Professor Funbags for the bits, and DJ Chip Hiley and Shadowski. And Indigo Crush, thank you. And Semantic Romantic, thank you for the bits as well, for the Pride 100. Thanks, Andrew and Bronwyn Fox and Donna and Verena. And, of course, our dear Benny Loco and Matt and Mark and Lauren Ipsum and Bethany and Jillian and Aggie. Thank you so much. And thank you, Brian and Franken Smithberry. Appreciate that. And Daniel as well. And Donna. Dan X, thank you, and Templeton Zarat, greatly appreciated. And for, I think, starting us off, Heather W. and Benny Loco in the very beginning, reminding everybody to give a thumbs up and like it. And if you're going to go over to AOC's group, I recommend very strongly that you, let's see, maybe I can do it this way. Maybe that's why. Hold on one second. We might be able to do this. Follow. There we go. And then perhaps if I follow, I can raid. Maybe you have to follow her to do it. That could be it. Maybe you have to follow for more time than that. Nah, it won't let us. Okay, so just jump over there on your own. Twitch.tv/AOC. Hop over there. And like I said, tell her Hal Sparks says hi, and be well, and enjoy your evening, everybody. And I appreciate you guys a lot. And I'll see you tomorrow at the regular time. All right, because I've kept you guys here long enough. And I've got to go watch Rachel and Lawrence and that crowd. It's just nutty. All right. Bless you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hope you had fun. I did. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye. That's the end. There you go. Hold on.